Hello everyone, it's Helen here with Helen. Thanks for joining me this evening. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Tonight we're going to talk about what can I eat if I'm suffering from acid reflux. I'm going to try my best to answer this question, but it's a little bit tricky because as we know, it's not a one size fits all because everybody's body is completely different and we're all suffering from acid reflux for different reasons. And we've all been suffering from acid reflux for different periods of time. And so therefore, we can't just put everyone into one box, but I'm going to do my absolute best to share with you all the information that I have, hoping that even a little bit of it works for you. I remember early on in my walk while suffering with acid reflux, I would seek advice from other people. I would buy books on acid reflux and I would dig in, and only about half of the things that were in there would work for me. And so I learned the hard way, and I had to kind of just venture out and try different things to see if it would work for me or if it wouldn't work for me. And that's where a food journal will come in great handy for you. So that's one of the things that a nutritionist told me to do right away, was just like start a food journal. Now, maybe some of the things that don't work for you on your early walk with acid reflux will work for you later on and vice versa. But that's why it's so good to keep this journal with you. It genuinely will be a lifeline for you over the years. And so when you're eating something, just write it down and then write how it made you feel. Like maybe the time of day that you ate it, what it was, how much of it was, and how it made you feel. And then when you try it again, then you can maybe do cross-referencing, like, okay, how did I feel the last time I had an apple? Or how did I feel the last time I ate pizza? So you can start keeping track, because a lot of the time it's not always about what you eat. Sometimes it's about pairing. So what you eat and then what you're eating it with, or maybe even sometimes it's the time of day that you're eating it. Because I've noticed that sometimes I can have things in the morning that I can't have at night, or maybe I could have that slice of maybe pizza, but I can't have that slice of pizza and then have some fruit and then have, a soda pop with it. So there's just all these different variations that you have to be mindful of. But if you start keeping a food journal, which will be your new best friend, then you're going to start to figure these things out really fast. So then you can go through and be like, oh yeah, this sat okay. Good. I'll try it again. This did not sit okay. I'm going to give it a while, maybe try it in a year or two. And so that's what I did. That's what my nutritionist had me do. And it really, really genuinely was a lifeline to me, because I still make reference to it. I still go back and I still check it okay, is this something that was making me sick? I mean, by now I know, because it's been several years. I started dealing with my acid reflux in 2010. So I know what works for me and what doesn't work for me at this point. But every once in a while, I like to venture out on some new things. And so I still use this little tool. So it will definitely be valuable to you as you're going through this. I'm really, really hoping that some of these foods that I mentioned will help you. And maybe, just maybe, I will tell you something that you don't know and you can be like, ooh, I've been eating that or drinking that. I better stop doing that, because that could be the thing that's giving me reflux. Things sometimes that you wouldn't even think of, right? All right, so let's just start with fruit. All right, fruit is obviously one of those things that you're probably not going to get a lot of, because a lot of fruit is acidic, which is so sad, because why? It's healthy, right? It's one of the things where you're like, okay, I should be able to have fruit. There's so many things on the healthy scale that you cannot have as an acid reflux sufferer, which there is absolutely no rhyme, no reason. Hopefully one day I can be like, God, can I now have a fruit off of one of the fruit trees? When I get to heaven, because I have not been able to have so many different fruits for a series of years. And I'm like, oh, it's just not fair. However, you just have to pick and choose, because you don't want to be sick, and you just have to appreciate what you still can have, right? Okay, so one of the things that you can't have, all right, is strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, pineapple, oranges, grapefruit. Those are things that you're going to want to play with a little bit. It will depend on where you are in your walk with acid reflux, but guaranteed at some point you probably are going to get reflux from those type of berries or those type of fruits. So you have to be very careful. We already know that anything tomato based as well is going to give you reflux. We'll talk about that a little bit more here in a second, but you're going to want to stay away from tomatoes. You're probably going to be okay with most melons. So you're going to be okay with maybe cantaloupe, honeydew, watermelon, and then probably bananas, maybe apples, pears, and peaches, but you're going to have to play with those just a little bit, because some of you might be okay with them and some of you might not. I don't do well with anything that has the skins on it. So I do okay with a banana. I do okay with a melon, like a cantaloupe or a watermelon, but that's really about it. So peaches obviously have a skin, apples have the skin. So anything that has a lot of fiber too, like an apple, you have to be careful with, especially if you're dealing with something like gastroparesis, because anything that's going to sit in the belly for a long period of time is probably going to give you a little bit more reflux. So you're going to just want to just kind of just mess with it a little bit and see what works for you. You'll know pretty fast. All right, so let's go into veggies. Veggies, I can definitely have more veggies than I can fruit. So cooked veggies, those are going to be an acid reflux sufferer's best friend. You're gonna wanna do things cooked for the most part. So you can have cooked carrots, you can obviously have mushrooms. I can have raw or cooked mushrooms, cooked asparagus, that's another thing. I can definitely do spinach. I can do that raw or cooked, so that's good. I can do romaine lettuce and I don't get hardly any reflux. I can do avocados, which are amazing. So I make a lot of my own like guacamole dips, so that's really good. And I can't add the onions, I can't add the tomatoes, I can't do that, but I can add like now a little like squirt of the cilantro paste, or maybe a little tiny squirt of like the garlic paste, maybe if I'm feeling like, like adventurous. But other than that, I stay away from all the other things that are going to set off reflux. I can have cooked squash, like zucchini squash, butternut squash, so I can have those. So that's really yummy. I do have to stay away from potatoes. Potatoes and me don't work. And again, it's just one of those things that don't digest very well for me. So if I'm going to do a potato, I have to do like a sweet potato. And you're definitely going to want to stay away from peppers, maybe broccoli, cauliflower, because all of these things are very gassy, and obviously gas is going to cause reflux. So again, healthy doesn't necessarily mean like it's something that we can have, because I think sometimes you're like, oh, I'll get rid of the grease and I'll eat healthy. Well, a lot of the times the healthy food causes just as much reflux as the greasy food. So you have to be very careful. You can maybe try some cherries. Let's go back to fruits really quick, because I don't know why cherries just popped in my head. Cherries work for some people. Maybe cherries don't work for others. I can't do cherries, but I absolutely love cherries. So you may want to try to sneak that one in too and see how that works for you. You cannot do lemons. Lemon's going to be another thing. You're going to want to get rid of anything lemony. Lemon is going to give you heartburn. Even on my best day before I was an acid reflux sufferer, lemonade was not my friend. In fact, I remember sitting there like, oh, this is horrible. I love the taste of it too. Who doesn't like a cherry lemonade? But don't do it. So you're going to want to get rid of lemons. You're going to want to get rid of limes. You're going to want to get rid of all of those things. So it doesn't leave a whole lot for you. But like I said, you get to have your asparagus. You can have your mushrooms, you can have your spinach, you can have your squashes, you can have cucumbers. Oh yes, cucumbers are my absolute favorite. So I cut around the edges on the cucumbers. So you peel the skin. I don't eat the seeds because my nutritionist told me not to, especially for people who suffer from reflux and gastroparesis, because they want to stay in your stomach for a long time. So I cut around the edges of cucumbers. Super good. So you can definitely have those. And so again, you're just going to have to just appreciate like the fruits and veggies that you can have, even if they are limited. And on every rare occasion, I might have like a red bell pepper, which I'll kind of cut up, but it has to be cooked completely, and I can only have a tiny bit of it, and it will give me a little bit of reflux, but it's good. All right, so we got the fruits and veggies. Let's get into some snack foods here. All right, you cannot have nuts as an acid reflux sufferer. Okay, they're healthy too, right? They're full of fat, they're full of good stuff, and you can't have them. So you're gonna wanna stay away from almonds, you're gonna wanna stay away from pistachios, you're gonna wanna stay away from cashews, peanuts, all nuts you're going to want to stay away from. Now, a really great snack bar, which is I'm surprised works for me, is a macadamia nut bar. It's a Luna bar, and so it's a white chocolate macadamia nut bar, and so that is so yummy. They don't give me any heartburn. I've been eating them for years. They got lots of vitamins in it, so you might want to try that. You're definitely going to want to stay away from anything milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and just stick with the white chocolates, which is okay, guys. We can have white chocolate, we can have vanilla, we can have caramel, and we can have coconut flavored things. Eating raw coconut is probably going to give you some reflux because it sits in the stomach a long time. So anything that's just really hard and raw is probably going to give you some reflux. And that would go for like a fruit nut mix. Yeah, reflux for sure. So you're just going to have to be really careful about that. You're obviously not going to want to sit there and munch on jerky. Jerky is going to give you reflux. Chips, if you're going to do chips, go with a baked chip, go with a tortilla chip. You're going to want to go with pretzels. Some crackers may work for you. So you're just going to kind of have to pick and choose there, but you're going to want to stay away from all the good stuff. You're going to want to stay away from the Doritos, the Fritos, the Cheetos, anything that's really, really tasty and good. Those are going to probably give you reflux. So if you have them, definitely have them in moderation. All right, so meats to stay away from. You're going to want to stay away from sausage. Sausage is going to give you a lot of reflux, trust me. So sausage, you're going to want to stay away from brats, unfortunately, but that was one of the things early on that gave me the worst heartburn. In fact, I had to sleep in a recliner chair for 3 weeks after I had a brat and some potato salad for the 4th of July. So trust me when I say that, that could possibly just set off a bomb in your belly. So I don't do brats. I can't do greasy bacon, but if you're going to do bacon every great once in a while on like a sandwich, you can use the microwave bacon, like that pre-cooked stuff, because then it's really thin. It's not too super greasy. You don't got a lot of the fat on it. So if you're gonna like splurge a little bit, that would be the way to go. But I stay away from bacon. I stay away from pork chops. I stay away from ham. All of that gives me reflux, as well as processed meats. And so you're going to want to get a little more fresh with your lunch meat and stuff. So the things that do work for me are chicken, but it has to be baked or grilled. You can do steak on occasions every once in a while, but you're not going to want to just sit and eat chunks of fat. That's going to give you reflux. I can do roast with some veggies, cooked veggies on occasion. I can do turkey, anything, turkey burgers. Like I said, stop by the deli and grab yourself a pack of turkey. I do turkey, like I just said, turkey burgers. I like to put turkey on my salads, turkey sandwiches. I get creative. I cut up avocado. I do provolone cheese or a cheddar jack cheese. Stay away from the pepper jack cheeses and a lot of the like processed cheeses, some of those like that aren't really good, that are just like in the plastic wraps and stuff. You're going to want to stay away. I'm assuming you're going to get reflux. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just assuming you are. Just get yourself some good cheese, but stay away from anything that's going to be like spicy. Okay. And so I just do the provolone, the cheddar jack. And then mayonnaise. Mayonnaise is safe. That is one of the condiments you can have. You cannot have butter. Butter's got to go. Butter on anything, whether it be on your crab, your shrimp, which you can have crab and shrimp, and those ones should probably sit okay with you if you're an acid reflux sufferer. You just can't have the butter. And if you want butter, try to look for an alternative butter and see if there's something that'll work for you. But butter will give you reflux, whether it's on your popcorn, whether it's on your potatoes, whether it's on your crab, your shrimp, you're going to get reflux from butter. Same with ketchup, mustard, barbecue sauce. Store-bought salad dressings are going to give it to you because they have vinegar in them and they got a lot of sugar. So sugar gives me reflux galore. So that is horrible for me. And it's crazy because you're thinking, why would sugar give you reflux? I don't know, but it does. So you have to be really, really careful about your sugars. In fact, if you're going to have like a sugary sweet, like little snack, you're going to want to stay with something that's like a cheesecake. You can have caramel sauce on that. I don't know why cheesecake works because I know it's high in fat and I know it's got some sugar in it, but it just works. So if you're going to do that, you're going to do the real deal too, not the box mix. So you're going to want to get like cheesecake with a caramel sauce. That should work for you. Carrot cake seems to work okay for me too. This is not something you can have every night. This is on occasions. Pumpkin pie, that's one of the safer ones. You can have pumpkin pie with a little bit of Cool Whip. Pumpkin anything. Pumpkin's really great for acid reflux sufferers, but you're going to want to stay away from cookies, donuts, muffins, ice cream. Ice cream is very gassy for a lot of people. That will give you reflux. Maybe try some frozen yogurts. That might work for you. So you can try that, but you got to be really careful. Stay away from anything chocolate or fruity. That is going to give you acid reflux. So again, you're going to want to stay with the vanillas, the caramels, a little bit of coconut flavor if you can. And like I just said, even maybe a little bit of pumpkin from time to time, that will be okay. White chocolate is safe, but you're going to want to get away from fruit and chocolate. And let's see what else here. So I talked about the meats. We were talking about some of the different meats. I can do turkey, I can do chicken, we can do a little steak. We can do seafood. Seafood's really good, so just be careful about the way that you prepare it, but there's lots of recipes. Noodles are super good for acid reflux sufferers. In fact, I put noodles with everything, and I just find little dipping sauces that might kind of work and just kind of dip. I'm a dipper, so I love to cook up noodles. It doesn't matter what kind it is, whether it's a fettuccine noodle, an elbow macaroni noodle, and then I'll just find like little sauces at the store, and I'll just kind of like put them on the side and kind of dunk. And I love to throw like noodles into my salads, whatever I can. But pasta is one of the things that digests really, really well. And I learned that after I had my acid reflux surgery, because that was one of the first things that they allowed me to eat. Bread sits well too. You can have bread, guys, but bread is going to have to be white bread. You got to get rid of all that whole grain stuff. All the things with all the yummy seeds and all that stuff has to go. It's going to give you reflux. So you're just going to want to just stick with the old original white bread, which is fine. And if you're going to do tortillas, do a white tortilla. So if you're doing a quesadilla, delicious. You can have those. You can throw some chicken in there, some cheese. You can get some lettuce, some sour cream. Sour cream's a really good condiment that might work for you. And so you're going to want to try that, but you're going to want to stick with the white stuff and kind of get away from anything that has the whole grains, like I said, the healthy seeds, anything like that is probably going to have to go, which is, it's a bummer. I talked about in my video, as far as drinks are concerned, get rid of anything carbonated. Anything that is carbonated must go. Fruit juices are probably going to have to go. You may want to try some of those naked juices, sipping on those. Those seem to be okay a little bit, but you're going to probably even want to do those in moderation as well. Let's see, anything else that I can think of right now. Okay, if I'm eating out, I'm thinking French fries, onion rings, things like that. You're going to want to stay away from onion rings. I thought I was having a heart attack one time, literally after I ate some onion rings. I'm not sure why, but I was convinced I was having a heart attack. And because my heart was palpitating, I was sweating, I couldn't breathe after eating onion rings. Granted, I had it with orange juice, and that was my early walk with reflux, but you learn fast. And so that was the first thing to go. It was that and pizza. I haven't had red sauce pizza in over 11 years. So I had my last piece of red sauce pizza in 2011, and I haven't had one since. So if you're going to do pizza, make sure it's a white sauce pizza with like an Alfredo sauce or ranch sauce. You can put mushrooms on it. You can put chicken on it. You can put spinach on it. Even a little cooked onion, maybe from time to time, you'd be safe with. So you can do that. You're definitely going to want to stay away from hot wings. Hot wings will destroy you. Hot wings will be the end of you. And so you're going to want to stay away from hot wings or anything like that's really, really fried and greasy like that. You are going to be setting yourself up. But if you're going to have it and have a cheat day or whatever, and you feel like it's worth it, try to do it at least in the morning and the afternoon, and don't do it in the evenings. All right, guys. Well, that's all I have for you. I'm sitting outside waiting for my grocery pickup right now. And so I gotta go, but I hope that everybody is well. I hope that this helped, and I look forward to making more reflux videos. If you have any questions, shoot them in the comment section. Thanks, guys. Bye.